Hey everyone, I just wanted to shoot a quick video to give you some of my thoughts of the market and talk about what went on last week and what we're looking for in the coming week. I am going to spend most of the time on the Dow and on the daily chart view here. And the first couple things I want to point out is just in general what happened. So we've got this great little double bottom structure, and Friday the 3rd, so not last Friday, but the previous Friday, the market, the Dow gapped up and took a pause right here. And then on Monday last week, we had a great little 5-day rally up, and we ended up here. So that's what happened last week. And now, to kind of give us a little bit of an idea of what could come, I'm thinking of a couple of different scenarios. But before I get into those, let me zoom out so we can take a look at this bigger picture. And I'll talk to you about these two black lines that I have drawn here. So this right here is at the end of October, and from there we had this huge rally up that took its first pause in December. So at the end of December, I saw this sideways going on, and I drew a horizontal line here at the top of that structure, which is very cool because that same line was the same area that supported this now double bottom here that started mid-April. So I always think that's very, very cool to see. So that little pause here of that huge and like very vertical rally up was the start of what I consider sideways or choppiness, where it gets a little bit harder to trade because the market is not choosing a direction. But just after that, we still had a good bit of a climb up here. So these are daily candles. So this is a few weeks here, and then we had this big red candle in mid February. So after that, what you're seeing is a lot of choppiness. I mean, it is up down. It's not choosing a direction. You had this little pop up, but if you were here thinking it was going to continue up, then it rejected back, came back up, then really just shot back down. I mean, it is a whole mess going up in this area, especially if you're a swing trader trading like the daily chart time frame. So 1 minute. So this is what I have as my little block of sideways, and I started it from the top of this structure here. And all of this is going to be just awareness points, right? And giving us information of what may come or what to be aware of. So what I'm looking at now, if we're just looking at what happened last week and where we stand here, the Dow is pretty extended from this 5 EMA, which when a candle is extended from its moving averages, it tends to come back to it, and it could come back in a way of like it may just pull back and go down, or it could chop and go sideways to meet that line. Let me give you an example. So on the NASDAQ, this is that same Friday, we had that nice gap up. So it did very similar to what the Dow did. And then on Monday, it continued that climb. But after that, it wasn't going up any higher. It tried to go. You can see that here with these little wicks on these daily candles. It tried to go up higher, but ultimately it ended up just here. It closed at the same place that it started at on Monday. So this is one scenario that could happen, just looking at the Dow. The other thing is it could just continue to blast through here, continue to go up, and once it gets to this line, it can do two things. Again, these lines are for just areas of awareness, right? So we're not taking action, but these help us pull our thoughts together as to what may happen, what scenarios may happen. So it could get up to this line and either pause, reject, or break through. So a pause is going to look like this. It's going to be a little candle where it tries to go above it, and then, and it may not look exactly like this, but what this did is pause. So if you look at this red candle from Friday, May 3rd, it went above the area, which this hot pink line is my 50 period moving average line. And then I have a horizontal line drawn at a previous place. This was based off of a previous place of resistance or support or both. And on that Friday, the market, the Dow went up above that area, then rejected back down, and then couldn't break above. So it closed very near it, but not above it. So what we saw on Monday, though, it broke through it. So this rally that it did means that this was just a pause there. So yeah, I had a little rejection during the day, but it wasn't anything like a pullback. So what we're looking at a pullback is, for example, here at the top of this double bottom, the candle met this area of previous support or resistance, and then it came down for the day, closed here, but then in the subsequent days, it did this. It came down, came up a little bit, and then rejected all the way down. So this one actually pulled back to another line. Then there are areas where it just like kind of just shoots through an area that you may have marked. But usually you'll have a pause for a day. So this just in general shows the Dow breaking through the structure. It just went boom like this. But even so, we did have that 1 day of pause. So what's going to happen this coming week? Those are the things that you want to consider. Let's see here. And all you can do is, make your best guess. So for me, I would love to see the Dow and also the NASDAQ. I've got similar lines drawn here. Break above that top line for me to feel confident that we've re-entered a bullish period. And but until then, I'm just going to be very aware of these areas here and aware of this, how the Dow closed on Friday, which is a little bit of extension there. Just take it, just day by day. Now, again, we're talking about the Dow and the NASDAQ. So these are indexes that are comprised of different stock. So they're made up of stock components. So you're going to see your individual stocks. You're going to have the ones that are the front runners, the leaders that are leading the market and providing this boost. That's what we're seeing is most of these in this, the Dow and the Dow basket boosted the market last week. And then we're going to have the next set that's going to be the runners up that are following the leaders, especially as everyone gains confidence again in the market. But we never know how long it'll last, how long that run will last, if we're going to see a little bit more chop before we break out. But in terms of the short term here, we had this little smaller base, very small, and we did break out of that one. So that's a pretty bullish sentiment as far as what we'll see this coming week. Only time will tell. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just drop them below. And all right, thanks y'all. Bye.